Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's go back to our Abuja studio as we have Chief Ozekome to round up his thoughts on this matter. Which way for us now as a nation in this fight against corruption before corruption kills Nigeria? In the judiciary, you have said there is massive corruption in that system. How can we fight it? Chief Ozekome.
The way forward is simple. Corruption is not a Nigerian citizen. Corruption is a global citizen. When you talk about tip in America, it is corruption. They are literally asking you for bribe to serve you food. So we are not necessarily fantastically corrupt. We should not over-glamorize corruption in Nigeria. And in fighting corruption, you must do so within the ambit, within the presence of the rule of law, within our constitutional organogram, within our legal regime. If you feel that you are no longer happy with the laws we have now, then you call on the National Assembly to amend. Then if you feel you no longer like the people, then dissolve the people and elect another people, or begin to better shoot people on the streets in the name of fighting corruption. We are not in Idi Amin, Uganda. We are not in Emperor Bokassa, Bede Bokassa, Central Africa. We are not in Mobutu Sese Seko's Zaire. We are not in Papa Duvalier's Haiti. We are not under Louis XIV of France, who could beat his chest imperiously.
Chief Ozekome, let's quickly come to the studio here in Lagos so that we can have a balance to the conversation and round up the conversation now. Mr. Debo Adeniro, where do we go from here? A lot of people argue perhaps the manner and way the corruption fight is going is one-sided, is lopsided, is a dictatorial manner, and what have you. Where do we go from here?
The place we should go is the way that we destroy, corruption as a monster. Here, Ozekome has identified it as that monster, and if you don't step on the sawtools, because what people have been doing before is to treat all of these judges as if they have, double lives. And that the rest of us, our lives don't mean anything. What we should do is that the application of the law must be general. There must not be a different law for the elite and a different law for the masses. Everybody must be treated as being equal before the law. And all these corrupt elements should be fished out, tried, adequately punished, so that it will deter others from committing similar crimes, no matter how highly placed, how influential, how powerful.
Mr. Ogunye, you stand with Mr. Chief Ozekome there. You differ from what he has said, but as we close now, what are your final thoughts on the way and manner to go?
My final thoughts. I'm a lawyer, and I practice law in the Nigerian judiciary, so I know judges. So whatever I say of them today, I'll go before them tomorrow.
And you're not afraid?
I'm conscious of what I'm saying, and I'm a careful public speaker. I'm saying that because there is corruption in the judiciary, we must fight it. And in fighting it, we must fight it within the ambits of the rule of law. I've not seen anything untoward in what has been done. A judge is to be arrested. That judge is not calling his head judge. He's not calling his brother judges. He alerted a governor of a state, Wike, and he mobilized pronto people there to prevent the arrest of that judge, to obstruct justice. If he were not to have an immunity, he should have been arrested by now. That is the gangsterism we talked about in Nigeria. I cannot be arrested. NDLA once said to arrest Kachamu, so he stayed in his house for 3 days. There was a standoff. We don't have respect for law, even though we mouth it every time.
Mr. Aguye, as we round up now, let's get the basic facts of the DSS operation and what you might be seeing in the coming days. From what the DSS says, let me quickly show you. This is what they came out. They said it was a sting operation, which means that they can do it at any point in time. The manner in which they can catch those who they're going after. They said the raid of Friday and Saturday morning is not the first. They've been doing these over the time. Supreme and Appeal and High Court judges have been under their radar for some time. The complaints, they say, is from concerning public over some judgment, and they said the judges were invited before now. They said some of the judges made useful statements while others in custody. Some refused to speak despite evidence against them. They said the governor of Sirte, their operation, they said they were disallowed to take some from that location, and they said Justice Nkan Onoye was never invited and not under investigation. And before we close, take note of this. They said the operation will be sustained, so we might be seeing more of it. Many thanks to my guest, Chief Michael Zekuna, Mr. GT Omoye, Mr. Debo Abenino. Many thanks for coming on the program, and you also, wherever you are watching, many thanks for being part of the program. On behalf of the team right here at Channel 7 headquarters in Lagos, we wish you Bye.